Carlos Alcaraz unleashes Unmasked star to start war against Jannik Sinner on court. What if the unyielding clay of Roland Garros, stained with the sweat of empires past, became the canvas where a young Spaniard shed his every mask, not in defeat, but in the raw, unfiltered blaze of a rivalry that could redefine an era? In the golden haze of a Parisian June afternoon in 2025, where the Eiffel Tower pierced the sky like a distant spear and the air hummed with the ghosts of Borg and McEnroe, the French Open final unfolded as a symphony of thunder and finesse, pitting Carlos Alcaraz against Jannik Sinner in what whispers called the Duel of Destinies. Alcaraz, the 22-year-old prodigy from Murcia's sun-baked courts, heir to Nadal's roar and Federer's finesse, entered the fray as the defending champion, his game a whirlwind of audacious drop shots and thunderclap forehands, forged in the Equalite Academy under Juan Carlos Ferrero's watchful gaze, a bond that had already scripted 4 Grand Slam triumphs. Sinner, the stoic Italian phenom from the Alpine shadows of Trentino, world number 1 with an ice-veined serve and a precision that bordered on poetry, arrived unvanquished on clay that year, his quiet intensity a counterpoint to Alcaraz's fire, their head-to-head a ledger of 5 2025 finals where the Spaniard had clawed 4 victories, each more visceral than the last. The baseline stretched like a fault line between continents, Spain's flamenco fury against Italy's glacial resolve, as the first set slipped Sinner's way in a tiebreak etched with laser-guided returns, the crowd's murmurs swelling into a murmur of unease, Philippe Chatrier's ivy-clad walls absorbing the tension like an ancient amphitheater. Yet as the second set dawned, with the sun dipping toward the Seine and casting elongated shadows across the red dust, Alcaraz paused at the changeover, towel draped over his shoulders like a fallen cape, his eyes locking with Ferrero's in the player's box. A silent communion that cracked the facade of the showman, revealing the boy who once chased balls in dusty alleys. Please like, share, and subscribe for more Sport Talk content. In that suspended breath, Alcaraz rose, unmasked and unyielding, his warm-up swings no longer performative flourishes but primal declarations. The racket gripped like an extension of his soul, as if the weight of Spain's tennis throne, passed from Santana's serve to Nadal's grit, demanded he bear every ounce of his heritage. The turning point ignited in the third game's frenzy. Sinner's serve cannoned down like Alpine artillery, but Alcaraz, no longer the grinning acrobat, unleashed a backhand return that screamed across the net, clipping the line with surgical fury. The ball's kiss on clay eliciting a gasp from the 15,000 souls packed into the stands, their applause erupting like fireworks over the champ's Élysées. He broke Sinner there, not with sleight of hand, but with a forehand winner that echoed like a matador's olé, his face a canvas of unguarded ferocity, sweat-streaked, eyes ablaze, drawing roars that shook the rafters. French fans who moments before had leaned toward the local hero, now swaying in rapt awe at this unbridled metamorphosis. Sinner, ever the sentinel, clawed back in the fourth, forcing a tie-break where doubt flickered in Alcaraz's unshielded gaze, a private whisper to himself midpoint. Por España, por todo. Lost to the wind, but audible in the tremor of his next serve, a 140 kph arrow that Sinner netted, handing the set and tipping the scales toward war. The fifth set's climax unfurled under twilight's velvet shroud. Alcaraz down 0-30 at 5-6. The crowd a living pulse of held breaths and fervent chants. Alcaraz! As he summoned a lob that danced over Sinner's reach like a phantom, landing inches inside the baseline, the Italian's racket slicing empty air in a moment of stunned silence before the eruption, a tidal wave of cheers that blurred the line between spectator and saga. In the net post-handshake, Sinner's nod carried quiet respect, murmuring in Italian-tinged English, "You showed me the fire today, Carlos. Next time I bring the storm." A concession laced with the promise of battles yet to blaze, as Alcaraz, mask forever shattered, collapsed to his knees, clay caking his whites like war paint. The aftermath cascaded across the digital horizon by midnight, as viral clips of that third game break flooded Instagram and X, Alcaraz war trending from Madrid to Milan, fans dissecting the unleashing in slow-motion reverie. The rivalry's portmanteau, now a global incantation for the next generation's torchbearers. Newsrooms from ESPN to L'Equipe framed it as the rivalry's zenith, Panels invoking Sampras Agassi's electric volleys, or Federer's filigree against Nadal's clay conquests, emphasizing how Alcaraz's raw reveal echoed Spain's bullfighting bravura, fierce, flawed, and forged in fatal risks. Social media swelled with montages blending their shared youth, teenage sparring in academies, post-match embraces at Beijing 2024, juxtaposed against this Parisian purge, Italian supporters conceding with emojis of saluting gladiators, while Spanish hearts swelled with pride at their unmasked icon. This chapter deepened the cultural strata of tennis's grand tapestry, where Iberian passion has long danced with Mediterranean metal, Sinner's ascent mirroring Borg's stoic Swede against McEnroe's Yankee blaze, yet laced with the modern hues of cross-border kinship in a divided Europe. Historically, such unmaskings recall Laver's late-career roars or Sampras's tear-streaked center court, but Alcaraz's war cry amplified the sport's evolution. From lone wolves to fraternal foes whose clashes honor the game's immigrant soul. Sinner's Alto Adige roots, Alcaraz's Andalusian fire, uniting divides through every extended rally. Fan reactions layered the legend, from packed Parisian bistros replaying the lob on cafe screens to virtual watch parties in Buenos Aires and Tokyo, where the roar transcended borders, transforming a final into folklore that whispered to dreamers. Rivalries aren't thefts of glory, but shared ascents. As the Coupe de Mousquetaire gleamed in Alcaraz's grasp, the ripple reached the ATP Finals horizon, where their ledger, now Alcaraz 11-5, hinted at Turin tilts, a narrative arc that wove personal peril into professional prophecy, the unmasked star igniting debates on vulnerability's valor in victory's vault. In the hushed reverence of post-match Rivalry, this unleashing unveils the exquisite alchemy of athletic authenticity, where the court's unforgiving gaze strips away artifice, revealing not just a champion's craft, but the human heartbeat that propels it, fragile, fierce, and forever intertwined with the pursuit of self. It murmurs of humanity's grand gamble in the game's geometry, the way a single, unfiltered swing mirrors life's unscripted leaps, urging us to embrace the masks we shed, for in that bearing lies the bridge between solitude and symphony, player and pantheon. True sportsmanship radiates here in the rivalry's refined forge, Sinner's gracious guard down, yielding to Alcaraz's exposed essence, a lesson in how adversaries become mirrors, reflecting not enmity but the empathy that elevates every exchange from contest to communion. This saga probes legacy's luminous lattice. Beyond aces tallied or slams seized, it's the moments of unvarnished valor that endure. Alcaraz's war whoop, a stanza in the sonnet of souls who dare to duel openly, honoring forebears whose feuds fueled the flames we now fan. In quiet contemplation, it illuminates character as the court's truest baseline. Tenacity, not in triumphs unchallenged,